Okay, so I am going to make a quick video on how to make ghee. This is 6 pounds of unsalted butter. I got this from Aldi. That's kind of my preference over Walmart or Sam's. I think their butter, their brand, is a bit waxy and it changes how it turns out. I don't like it. So I'm just using Aldi's unsalted butter. Probably most places are fine, but for some reason Sam's and Walmart have this waxiness to them that other butters don't. So all I'm going to do is pop this in the oven at 250 degrees for 2 to 3 hours, and I will get back to you along the way and show you how it's going. Okay, so I set my timer for an hour, and this is what we are looking at. See all the bubbles? That is the milk solids coming to the surface, and we want them to sink and kind of turn a golden brown, and then we will drain off the fat that's left and get rid of the milk solids. So I'm going to set this for another hour and then check back with you again. Okay, we are at about 45 minutes later, so we're at an hour and 45 minutes, and this foam is browning on top, and so I am going to go ahead and just scrape a bunch of that off. And then I'm gonna let it go another half an hour to 45 minutes and see what we've got going on. So this is a lot of the milk solids, but a lot of them have sunk to the bottom as well. And once we get all these kind of off the top, you'll be able to see what's on the bottom, so you can see what we're after next. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. There are a lot of milk solids, not a lot actually, I got most of them off, that have sunk down, and they are going to turn into little brown bits, and we are going to strain this and separate the two when it's done. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, so our ghee is done. It took over 4 hours, honestly. I don't know whether it was 4 to 4.5. And if I recall, last time it took longer than I expected it to as well. But that's okay. I wanted, as you can see, the solids have turned kind of caramel colored, kind of golden brown. My butter, my ghee now is really pretty. I am going to now, I have a jar, a funnel, and this is hot, so you want a funnel that's not going to melt. Cheesecloth, or this is just the square I cut from a flour sack dish towel. And then I'm going to put a strainer in there. And I am just going to, first of all, try to skim this stuff off the top without kind of stirring it up. You don't want to stir it up. Put that in the pan over here that I had been using earlier for scraps. And then we're just going to pull it right off the top. And between the strainer and the cloth, and I suppose you could do it without a strainer, but I kind of like that double straining going on there. Let's see if I can fix this so you can see it a little bit better. Getting there. Now, I did 6 pounds. You do not have to do 6 pounds of butter. I just like to do a bigger batch. This really filled my baking dish up. You can use a Dutch oven or whatever you want. And it was almost too full, but this is going to give me a little over 5 pints. So by the time you lose all your milk solids, let's see, I need a saucer or something to set that in. By the time you get rid of all your milk solids, you are going to be left with, I don't know, a little over 5 pints of ghee. I've got that a little full. I don't know if I can get any out with this. Nope, going to have to get a spoon. So I didn't even leave a 1/4 of an inch of headspace on that. I didn't realize I was filling it so full. So I am going to take that and leave about a 1/2 to a 1/4 of an inch of headspace. And then I forgot to grab my lids. So I've got my canning lids here. I've got vinegar. And just like when I'm canning, I'm going to wipe the lip to make sure that I don't have any butter on there, any grease, anything greasy that's going to keep it from sealing, because I'm going to just put the lid on this and I want it to seal up, and it'll be good on my shelf. Gosh, I don't know, a year, 18 months probably. I have never had one go on me yet, and I actually am using one, so I'm going to put that on tight. I am actually using one now that I made almost 2 years ago. So there you go. Ghee. It's beautiful, isn't it? And it's so simple. So you just keep going the way I was going. You fill up your other jars. You let it cool completely. And when it cools, it'll look like this. This is the jar I'm using right now. And so it's kind of a milky yellow, lemon yellow kind of color. Okay, so as you get farther down into the pan, you're going to have a whole lot more stuff. And you don't want that milky stuff at the bottom to get in your jar, because that is going to make things, it could sour and make it not shelf stable. So you are just, the farther down you get, the more careful you have to be to only get the clear golden oil. And that takes a little patience. And I actually have an idea that I'm going to try. Okay, what I've done is I've taken my gravy fat separator and I poured the rest of it in that. And look, all the milk solids are at the bottom. So I am going to get rid of those. See what I've got going on here. I think I've got it. Yay! So, that was perfect. See all the milk solids in here? I'm done with that. Now, I am just going to fill up. Make sure I've got it. Yep. And I am just going to fill up, which I can't see what I'm doing here. Whoops, I overflowed. Well, shucks. Okay, so I make the mess. So that was a great idea, but I got too gung-ho, and I got too excited about it. But there you go. Oh, you can't see it, can you? There you go. There's another one, and I have one more to go. So that was 5. So I guessed it right. Okay, I got my mess all cleaned up and everything in jars and closed down tight. Now as these cool, I will start hearing ping, ping, ping as they seal. And once they're nice and cool and kind of thickened up, I will put them on the shelf. I'll label them, of course. Put them on the shelf, and we will have ghee for a long time to come. So if we're ever out of butter, we've still got ghee. So that's it, y'all. If I can do this, you can do this. This is pretty simple. It's just a little time consuming. And as you saw, sometimes it can be a little messy. But it's really very easy. And if you were to buy a jar of ghee like that in the store, you'd pay 10 bucks for it. And all it cost me was what it cost me for the pound of butter, $3 and something. So anyway, that's how you make ghee the easy way. You don't have to stand and stir and strain and scoop and scrape the whole 45 minutes to an hour you're doing it on top of the stove. You just throw it in the oven and let it do its own thing. So that's it. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you'll give it a try. If you have any comments or any ideas or thoughts, if you make ghee differently and you see a way to do it easier and less kind of messy than I did, I will say I loved that gravy strainer idea. Why I didn't think of that sooner, I don't know. But the reason I made the mess is I forgot the gravy strainer. The liquid comes out faster than it can go through the cloth and the strainer. So anyway, there's your ghee. I love you guys. I hope that you will hit the like button and share this video and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my channel and help others to be more self-reliant in this day and age. So thanks a bunch, guys. Love you. God bless. Mwah.